Hello, my name is Skip, and this is from the Fourth Row's review of G.I. Joe Retaliation. And G.I. Joe Retaliation takes place a few years after the last G.I. Joe movie, and we have Cobra Commander and Destro in a Supermax prison. And the Joes are, just doing their normal thing, and then they go by the orders of the President of the United States, and unbeknownst to them, he isn't necessarily who he or they think he is. Now, Jonathan Pryce plays the President of the United States, and he sends them on a mission to Pakistan. I guess Pakistanis are building a nuclear weapon, and so they go and stop the Pakistanis and get the nuclear weapon. But in actuality, it was a trick. It was a trick by somebody pretending to be the president who works for Cobra. Now, we have Roadblock, and we have Lady J, and we have Flint, and they're the surviving members of the G.I. Joes after they were attacked by a salvo of helicopters and I guess flies, specialty flies that blow up. And in the salvo, one of the main Joes, Duke, is killed. And if you don't know, Channing Tatum plays Duke. He only lasts about a half hour into the movie. And so the Joes are on the run after this because they become public enemy number one, and the president blames them for doing this without his permission. Now, even though he sent out this order. Now, Zartan is pretending to be the president, and he's if you will, torturing the president to get information. And so he sets this whole scheme up to where he can find out where Cobra Commander and Destro are, and in doing so, he sends Storm Shadow in disguise as Snake Eyes to the prison, and from the inside, Storm Shadow helps get Cobra Commander out, and from the outside, Firefly helps get Cobra Commander out. And Firefly is played by Ray Stevenson. Now, Storm Shadow is burnt in the explosion when the prison blows up, and ends up trying to get himself healed in a secret lair in the Himalayas. And so the actual Snake Eyes, who's on the run now, who's part of the remaining Joes, goes and tries to attack and find Storm Shadow and try to get him to realize the mistake that he has made by letting Cobra Commander out and helping Zartan. Now, Snake Eyes and Jinx, another new Joe, ends up convincing him to join their side. Now, on the other side of it, Roadblock, Flint, and Lady J, they go enlist the help of the original G.I. Joe, played by Bruce Willis. And all this leads to a major climax where Cobra Commander has set up Zartan to try to disarm the rest of the world's nuclear armaments, and so nobody has nuclear weapons except, in the trick, he reveals that he's got 7 or 8 satellites that can shoot down and destroy each one of these countries' major cities. So now G.I. Joe, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there's some unbelievable action scenes, and like I said, the prison scene was a really cool action scene and set piece, and then it was an amazing ninja battle on the side of the Himalayas with Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, and Jinx, and a bunch of ninjas. And that was just breathtakingly amazing. And the sword fight and the action was amazing. And I mean, I cannot say enough. And the end battle was really good as well. Uh, I just think, it's GI Joe. It's toys made into a movie, so we know that it's going to have some little suspension of disbelief, I guess you would call it. But I have to say that there's a lot of plot holes here in the last between the last GI Joe and this GI Joe, and some of the action was a little, I guess you would call it far-fetched. So I'm going to give GI Joe a skip it. I really been thinking about this, and I really think that this isn't the movie that I or a lot of people thought it was going to be, and I was honestly, despite some of the action and stuff, there wasn't enough real story for me. So I'm going to say skip it to GI Joe Retaliation. This is Skip. This has been From the Fourth Row's review of GI Joe Retaliation.